Well, hello everyone again. This is Master Mewtwo here, and welcome to another episode of Deep Thoughts. That's right, the series died for a little bit because I was in a good place in my life, but it's hard to say how I'm feeling now. For example, I'm going to turn off the air here, or at least turn it down. There, that should be good. Anyway, today, I want to talk about death. It pursues all of us. It is always with us in life because you never know when life is going to be suddenly cut short. This is to speak of a life well lived, not my own. I'm not done living, although some days I wonder. This is more talking about death of a loved one, and it's referring to death of a pet. Today I found out, today being the 8th of August, that one of my dogs, technically one of my girlfriend's dogs, my Espeon, a dog she's been rehabilitating from an abusive home, my stepdaughter, otherwise known as Squeaky Evie, came running into the house saying, "Oh, he's peeing blood," and testing it with a paper towel at the time, it was straight blood with clots. So there was no urine whatsoever in the bladder. It was mixed in, the blood was mixed in to the point where the blood came out like urine, but it was more blood than urine, which means one of many things: bladder infection, kidney stones, bladder stones, something that would involve a lot of money for drugs and or surgery. Unfortunately, my dog, he is 9, which is usually pretty good for a dog, but he's a purebred English Mastiff. They don't have very long lifespans. In fact, he's maxed out at 9. They're not supposed to live past 9. He's at the top end of the scale for the average. If his body was in better condition, he could easily make it to 10 years old. No hesitation. But with the amount of arthritis he has in his hips that is now spread to the rest of his joints, especially his shoulders, plus he's got some I won't say nerve damage, but numbness in his forepaws. Forepaws is an F-O-R-E, forward paws. He's probably going to be put to sleep tonight. And I don't mean sent to bed. I'm talking he's going to be falling asleep, and ignore that. He's going to be going to sleep, and he's not going to be waking up again. Which means it will be a bitter farewell, but a worthy farewell. He's lived a very long life for his breed. He's had a couple troubled years, but with the love he's experienced in the home that my girlfriend and I have, I feel he will if you believe in reincarnation, he will go on to his next life knowing that he was treated with love, affection, and respect. He will, if you've seen A Dog's Purpose, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. He'll make it to the next life knowing that he was loved, knowing what love is, and being able to transfer that into the next part of his journey. Whether it's the Indian, and I mean East Asian Indian, if it's that sort of living where he'll make his way to another form altogether, be it another animal, staying a dog or even becoming a human. That he'll be able to know, experience, and project love onto the next people he comes across. He might have a bit of a troubled start, given he had a troubled start, like I mentioned, because he was actually quite badly abused. He was rehabilitated by my girlfriend and her boyfriend at the time, and they did a good job. He went from very fear-aggressive, afraid of everything, to where he is now, where he's a super sucky boy. He will come up to you without any, like, he'll be cautious, but he will do anything but bite. He will bark a little bit and won't even be a threatening bark. It'll be more of a, please back off, I don't know who you are, stranger, back away bark. But as soon as he warms up to you, he is so cuddly, so friendly, and just talking about it is choking me up a little bit. And he got a chance to know what unconditional love is. And I hope that when he makes it to another life, or if his journey's over, that he's able to move on knowing that joy in his heart and that happiness. Because speaking from my own perspective and my point of view, it took me a while to find it, and hopefully, I'm thankful that it didn't take me as long as it took him. Because I forget how, I think he was 3 when my girlfriend adopted him. Meaning he was basically 21 before he got to enter a good home. And it took another year or so for him to start to transition. So he was 28, only a year younger than I am now, to transition into understanding what it is to be in a household that will treat you properly. That will treat you like you're a part of the family, which he never got. It got to a point where was one time my girlfriend's father was walking around with some 2x4s and they clapped together. So they made this banging noise. He curled up into his doghouse and you could tell that he was super afraid. And there was another point in time where he got on the couch and he was told sternly, in no threatening way, to get off the couch. He soaked the couch with pee. He peed all over the couch. And he was still a young dog at the time, so there was no excuse other than the fact that he was abused, beaten so badly that it wouldn't matter what he did, good or bad, that somehow, for some reason, he'd end up getting hit. With what, I don't know. Probably he was beat with sticks, judging by the 2x4 story. And by 2x4 I mean the piece of wood. So it's just he's gone so far for so long, and he's become such a good dog. It's going to be hard to say goodbye. Like I said, I'm choking up talking about it. But I'm the one who said I'd be there with him when he is finally let go, because I know my girlfriend wouldn't be able to handle it. The kids wouldn't be able to handle it. The baby, thankfully, is too young to be there to really remember it, but I know she'll feel it from all of us, because I have an amazing baby who's, well, you could see how old her soul is, and hopefully that shows when she gets older. And it's just making me think of when the puppy grows up and she has to deal with losing her. So it's going to be hard on everyone when Lilith is the puppy's name, when Lilith has to go and Amara has to watch her go, whether it's natural or whether there's the needle put in her heart and after putting her to sleep, or at least knocking her out, not putting her to sleep, but same thing. So it just puts a lot of things into perspective too, because loss of a family member, usually you see it coming but they fight it off. But when you lose a pet, a lot of the time it's your choice, because either the pet is too sick and you can't take care of it, or it'll cost too much to properly take care of it, and it'll make it even harder on you because you feel like you could have done something more, but you never had the funds to do it. Other people just put them down because they just can't be bothered. But when it's a family like mine who's been so good to me, so good to this dog, so good to the dog they already have, and she is a Kahlua, yes, Kahlua after the alcohol. Kahlua has been such an angel, and she's such a good dog. I'm afraid to just be able to look at her face and see that she knows that her best friend for the longest time is gone. But the fact that she's been able to basically adopt Lilith is probably going to help her a lot. But it just makes me think of what would have happened if I ever... Hold on. If I ever attempted suicide and was successful, what would happen to whoever had to deal with the aftermath of that. So I'm very thankful that it's never come to that for me. That I've been able to hold it together as best I can, so that no one would have to lose me because of my own irrational, immature stupidity. But just talking about this is harder and harder because it shows how long it's been since I've done these, because the more you listen to them, the more numb almost I sound. But with this, because I've been in such a different place compared to then, it's just a lot more hits me. A lot more affects me now. And I'm thankful that I've been able to feel a lot better about myself so that I can talk about this stuff and still feel this amount of emotion about it. But I'm dreading this evening. I'm dreading 10 to 15 years from now. And I'm dreading the day that Kahlua has to be put down, or the day she dies, because she's such a good dog. They're all good dogs. It's hard to talk about. Like, I've never had a pet until I came into this family, and my first real pet was Mew, my cat. And at first I was great with him, and then I don't know what happened. But that'll be for another day, when I'm a little bit more steady with my voice, because I've already gone over 12 minutes. So anyway, thanks for listening.